Hello, hello. I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at the last Pokemon in Sinnoh, the legendary Arceus. Now, Arceus technically has different forms depending on each type, but fuck that. I'm not going through 17 different types just to specify. If you have one that works as a generic type-based nickname like Tesla, and you want to use electric Arceus, that applies. So I'm just going to make that a general statement, but I'm under the impression we're probably not going to see anything like that today. So already the first page of Pokemon.net is pretty bland, but I will highlight this one just because we talked about like Peekaboo back when we did the whole Meryl episode, so I feel like it's only fair. I remember back in the day, the things about the Pokegods and all that, and then I think it's funny because once we got one, we're like, oh, well, this is boring. I don't know, I just thought that was funny. But hey, if you wanted to do a little bit of fan service back to the old playground days of the Pokegods, there's an idea for you. So, I kind of already I got this weird like, hey, this isn't gonna go so well. So we're gonna acknowledge Palutena. Do I think it fits Arceus? Yes and no. I understand the reasoning behind it. Pretty sure we saw Palutena, I think maybe for like Gardevoir or something like that. Physically speaking, it doesn't resemble it at all, but I get it. God, goddess thing. And then down here, Satoshi Tajiri, which I think is a little bit more interesting for the reasoning behind it. So I like that one a bit more, but in other words, I got just this weird feeling about Arceus today. Alright, I really feel like we're grasping with a lot of these here, but I only acknowledge Palutena, so it's only fair I acknowledge Amaterasu. If that's your dig, sure. I think Amaterasu is a better choice than Palutena, because at least they both have 4 legs, but you could probably put that on some other better Pokemon that's more dog. Alright, so we've reached the bottom, and we didn't really find anything interesting, and this is kind of a side effect with some of the mythicals you find, is it's harder to find nicknames for some of these because a lot of people just don't own them, and as a result they don't have the ability to name them. Raise your hand if you've owned an Arceus, whatever. Not many people are. I have one, but I'm 99% sure it was hacked, but as long as I'm not getting kicked off of online, I don't really care. Spreadsheet had Asgore, which I'm alright with. I checked just because I was like, isn't Asgore have some other meaning? No, it just came up with Undertale and Undertale alone. I'm probably thinking about Asriel, which is actually named after, I believe, a deity or some shit like that. So that's probably why I was confused. But Asgore is on its own. And this made me think about what the fuck Arceus is based off of, and the answer is literally god fucking everything no one actually knows because he's so goddamn complicated. And then Emperor's New Groovy got turned into a llama. That has nothing to do with anything. Thank you for being worthless. So, one idea I was thinking about when I was reading through these was Bayonetta. And I thought about Jubileus, the creator, and just the name Jubileus. I'm like, that sounds like that's probably just some guy or whatever. Like, that's just an ordinary nickname, an ordinary name. I say nickname too much. And no, I had caps lock on. When you type in Jubileus just by itself, all it comes up with is Bayonetta. So that's my idea, is maybe consider Jubileus the creator from Bayonetta as a nickname idea. And lastly, the comment suggestions, which was hypothesis. I think this works kind of nicely with antithesis for Giratina, and I don't know, I guess it kind of comes to the concept of heaven and hell as well for that one, for those two could kind of be a pairing. You don't really think about those two being a pairing, but it does kind of work out in that way. Like if Arceus is God and Giratina Satan, that would make them a pair. So I don't know if that was his intention, but I do think it pairs nicely with Giratina. But that's it. We didn't really stumble across anything. Most of it was just people saying Zeus or God or making fun of everybody else that's saying Zeus or God by contributing the same shit. There was one that was like atheist, which was a joke. Haha, you get it, because opposite of God. But it still wasn't particularly spectacular. So, there you go. I don't nickname legendaries, so I don't have a personal choice. But I thought about Jubileus, so I guess if I had to pick one, that's at least not too terrible. But in other words, that's it. Stay tuned for the Unova trailer, which I will work on soon. And then I'll be disappearing for a little bit.